Gratitude is one of the most overlooked and key principles to your success. If your goal is to be a millionaire and you start out making $20,000 a year and then God gets you to 50, but you mad because you ain't a millionaire. But hold up, man. Do you not remember that just a minute ago you didn't have but 20? So you got to show gratitude for the 50.
This is about you. Showing gratitude and being grateful is for you. And let me tell you what it does. When I started doing this, man, it started changing my day. It started changing my attitude towards the day. So when the difficulties of the day began, they were nothing to me because I was so filled with gratitude. I'm talking about continuous thanks. You cannot run out of things to be grateful for. Not if you fine tune your gratitude. Not if you do it in a way where you're being very specific about what you're grateful for. When you wake up and you're grateful for waking up. When you're grateful for the ability to move today. When you are grateful for the fact that you are in your right mind.
When you look back over your life, you can see the faithfulness of God. Times where He made a way where you didn't see a way. He opened a door and a dream came to pass. You were at the right place. You met that person and fell in love. Even when you made mistakes, He showed you mercy, covered you, and brought you out. Here you are blessed and moving forward. You didn't get to where you are by yourself. Wasn't just your talent, wasn't just good breaks. It was the hand of God. He's been working behind the scenes in your life, pushing back forces of darkness, lining up the breaks that you need. Even before you were born, in your family line, God was orchestrating things in your favor. But the scripture says, don't despise the day of small beginnings. Don't get discouraged because where you are is much smaller than what's in your heart. As a young man, my father knew one day he would pastor a church with thousands. But you have to be faithful with the small before God will trust you with much. That's a time of testing, a time of proving. It's easy to think, well, Joel, when I see some growth, when I get some good breaks, then I'll give it my all. No, you have to give it your all right where you are. God is watching. He sees what's not growing. He sees when you're in a feed store and others are in a nice building. Stay faithful. Your time is coming.
One way to coach your mind from depression is with gratitude. Every time I feel myself not starting to feel some kind of way, just take a paper and pencil out. Just start writing down everything you have to be grateful for. Whatever it is. Your health, you can walk, you can still see, you have a car, may not be the one you want. Oh, I got a bus pass. You know, I have clothing. I have a place to live. I ate today. I see a way that I can eat tomorrow. I got a friend that I can call and share my troubles with. And just be real detailed with it. You would be stunned how long you'll be writing. Now, let me tell you what happens. Once gratitude erases all negativity, because there's no room now for negativity. It's not a magic trick. Joy and depression cannot reside in the same space. Those two things cannot exist at the same time. Also, what it does, it changes your focus from what you don't have to what you do have. Gratitude changes your perception. Your perception changes your existence. That's all you're trying to do.
In all things, give thanks. That we have so much to be thankful for. And we should not just have one day that we express that gratitude. When I get up each day, I write down 7 things that I'm grateful for. Why? Because I believe having a spirit of gratitude is major. It's major. And every day we should be thankful. We're here because of God's grace and mercy. We are experiencing and enjoying things that we had nothing to do with our acquiring those things or being able to have those things a part of our experience. And even things that sometimes appear to be tragic. There are times we can look back and say, whoa, that didn't just happen to me, that happened for me.
Write a list after you make this list of everything you're grateful for. I want you to read this list every morning you wake up of everything you're grateful for. After you've thanked him for all this stuff, I want you to take another piece of paper out. I want you to write on this piece of paper everything you want. Everything you want. Now what he gonna do is he gonna tie them two lists together. So now since you showing me all this gratitude for what I've already done for you, remember I said the more grateful you are, the more stuff he'll give you to be grateful for? Yeah. He gonna take this other list you got and he gonna start putting it on this side. Then he gonna take some more stuff he gonna put on this side. Then take some more stuff and put on this side.
When your health turns around, when you have that baby I promised, when you get the Compaq Center, don't let it become so common that you don't recognize it was my goodness, that you don't take time to thank me for what I've done. In one area of our lives, we're all in the promised land. We've seen God do amazing things, free you from an addiction, give you healthy children, bless you in your career. You know it was God's favor. At the time, you were so grateful. My challenge is don't lose that sense of awe. Live with that amazement at what God has done. Go back over the times where he made a way, protected you, opened that door that shouldn't have opened. If you don't remember what God has done, then it's easy to start taking the credit and think we got here by ourselves. We did it in our own power. The problem with forgetting is that God won't share his glory. He'll take you incredible places. He'll open amazing doors. But if you don't recognize it's his goodness, the same God that opened the door can close the door. That's why God gave them such a strong warning. He said, I am taking you into a land where you will lack nothing. You will have beautiful houses, businesses that are blessed, resources more than you can imagine. My only requirement is that you don't forget it was my favor that brought you here. It was my angels protecting you in the desert. It was my power keeping enemies from defeating you. I was the one that pushed back the Red Sea. I was the one that gave you water out of the rock. I was the one that brought you in to this land of abundance. That's why I never get tired of thanking God for what he's done in my life. You hear it all the time. Lord, thank you for giving us the Compaq Center. I realize we didn't get this in our own strength. This is the hand of God. Lord, thank you for healing my mother from terminal cancer back in 1981. Well, Joel, that was almost 40 years ago. Yeah, but I'm not going to forget. I'm going to keep thanking God. Lord, thank you for leading me into that jewelry store where I met Victoria for the first time. Thank you that she couldn't keep her hands off of me. That was a lie, but that wasn't a coincidence. That was God directed my steps. The same God that led the Israelites through the desert and didn't let poisonous snakes harm them. Think about all the times God has protected you. On the freeway, that car swerved at the last moment, barely missed you. That wasn't a lucky break. That was his angels protecting you. You weren't next in line, but somehow you got the promotion. Then another good break and another, and now you're living at a level you never dreamed. Like me, you've seen God show out in your life. You have some Compaq Centers, family members that God's healed, a person you met that changed your life for the better. Have you forgotten what God has done? Have you convinced yourself it was just fate? It would have happened no matter what? That's what causes blessings not to last. It's like this man I heard about. He pulled into a crowded parking lot. He couldn't find a parking space anywhere. He prayed, God, please help me to find a place to park. He pulled around the next aisle, right on cue, this car up front backed out. He said, never mind, God, I found one. Sometimes we have short memories. We forget God is the one that opened the door. He's the one that caused that college to accept you. He's the reason your company chose you over somebody else. He's the reason your health turned around. Sure, the medicine helped, but God is the healer. Don't forget about all the prayers He's answered for you. Take time to acknowledge His goodness. Not only are you thanking Him, but you're reminding yourself, I didn't get here by myself. You're keeping the right perspective, giving God the credit.